Hello everyone and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. I am so excited you're here. So welcome. So for my first ever video, I wanted to do a quick little story time. I am going to make this quick and sweet, and it's basically a introduction into what you can see going forward, and more so, my hand looks so big, what you can see going forward kind of. And also wanted to talk about my experience in the bodybuilding world. If any of you guys have followed me on Instagram, you know that I was about 8 weeks out from my first ever bikini show when I decided to stop. When I decided to quit my prep. And it wasn't just that I quit my prep, but it was that I pretty much quit everything related to that side of the fitness and nutrition industry. So, quick little recap is I was in prep for probably about 8 weeks prior to quitting, and if you were to ask me how prep was going, I would have said it was fantastic. I was like, oh my gosh, I love all of the structure and the rigidity and the, I just loved it. I loved having that routine and that structure, eating the same things every single day and working out and doing all this cardio, and everything was going fine. I was dropping weight like I was supposed to. I was taking the supplements that I needed to, which is a whole different story, and things were going well. And then I hit my quote-unquote rock bottom. I was at a seminar type of thing where, it was a programming seminar for trainers, and I was working out twice a day in that seminar. And working out twice a day on basically no food and super high cardio, my body eventually just shut down. And I have never felt that level of exhaustion in my entire life, where I could barely move, let alone function. And it was in that moment that something just clicked in my mind, and I was like, oh, what am I doing? Why am I putting my body through this? And I think the scariest part of that moment was not the fact that I was so exhausted, but it was the fact that I kind of lost sight of who I was. And I think, prep for the longest time defined who I was, or fitness and discipline and all of these things defined who I was. And in that moment of rock bottom, I no longer knew who I was, which sounds crazy. It might not make a whole lot of sense, but it was just a moment where I no longer wanted to be a part of this world. And by this world, I mean the fitness industry kind of as a whole, as it was defined, then. So fast forward, I left, I decided to let my coach know that I was like, this is just not for me. I think I need a break. And the response I got from my coach at the time was that if I, am thinking about quitting this early on, then I probably wouldn't have done very well anyway. And I think for me, that solidified how toxic and just delusional this industry can be. And let me context that by saying I've been a trainer for only about 2 years, and in that 2 years I've learned a lot, and I think that the industry can be a healthy, fine place. But I do think, in my opinion, the bodybuilding industry is toxic and can be toxic, not everyone, and it can be very romanticized and glamorized and kind of a little bit delusional, because I had those moments where I was like, just because I leave a prep because I feel that it's not right for me doesn't mean that I wouldn't have been successful. And I think the biggest issue that I had with all of that is that there was no empathy, no, you know, it was just so cold. But anyways, one thing I want to say about my experience is that I was 100% one of those people who really romanticized that world and that industry, thinking that that's what it meant to be fit. And it's just so not true. And I can see that so clearly now that that's not true. And it's just, in that level is just, it's not represented the way that it should be. You know, we see all these super fit people on social media and we think that that's what we're working towards. So we work out harder, we eat less, and we try to achieve that level of physical fitness. But at the end of the day, for me, when I reached that level, when I got super lean, I was being praised and complimented on how lean I was miserable. I was extremely unhappy, because you would look at me and be like, oh wow, like look how lean she is. She has like, you know, muscles and abs and all kinds of stuff. But I was spending 95% of my time at the gym. I was doing hours of cardio a week. I was working out hours and hours a week. I was barely eating anything, and if I ate anything outside of my plan, everything, all hell broke loose in my mind. You know, I was rigid, I was restrictive, I was just, all my emotions and my worth was tied into how successful I was that day in terms of my prep. So, getting off track here, but at the end of the day, my prep showed me that what I thought was healthy and fit was not true. And it really helped me see what my true purpose is, and that being tied up in my body and what it looks like and how lean it is and how fit it is was what I thought at the time something super empowering and great, but what ended up being something that took all of my power away. It took all my power away, and it just tore me down. So moving forward in my life, I am currently working with a treatment team to help me kind of break free from all of the disordered eating patterns, the obsessive exercising, and body focus that I have had for a long time. But I think bodybuilding just emphasized it for me and brought it further into the light. So I am working towards healing myself and finding complete food freedom and exercise freedom, because I don't want to continue to be a prisoner in my own life, because I feel like I have to eat a certain way and move a certain way just to be happy and just for people to like me. And I am just excited to bring you along this journey if you want to watch it. I know it's not as sexy as a prep or a weight loss journey, but this journey is one of finding who I am, to regain my power and find my purpose, and to, you know, just finally be truly happy and accepting of who I am, and not always trying to fix myself. So long story short, my prep wasn't a terrible experience. It got that way towards the end when I realized that this industry just isn't for me, that this complete body focus and diet culture level of bodybuilding just isn't what I want my story to be. You know, I love food and I love movement, but when they become obsessive and I can't go a single day without thinking about how my meals are going to affect me later, or if I eat this, what does that mean for this? If I don't move this way, then it just became this overthinking cycle, and that's just not healthy. And my goal is to not only show you my journey to food freedom, but also bring some awareness and education to the lies and the false promises that diet culture shares upon us. And I think in that world of fitness, we like to think that we are like a lifestyle change, that we are, you know, helping people just improve their health. And we're so focused on, you know, getting your exercise in and eating a certain way and macros this and calories that, and we're wrapping it in this package that is somehow acceptable to do. And I just don't agree with that anymore. I don't agree that you have to count your macros in order to be healthy, that you have to work out a certain number of days in order for it to even be worth it, or that you have to strength train at all. And so I'm just excited for you guys to be here, and I hope this makes sense, and I will share more of my story as time goes on and things come to my mind. But I hope you can resonate with this, and this journey is going to be one that is scary and hard, but also very, very exciting, and I want to share both of those sides with you. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more stuff that I do, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.